Hello, everyone. We want to take this opportunity to say thank you. As you grow at the Golden Boot, so do our needs, but we cannot do it without you. We ask that you continue to like our posts, share our content, and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and other social media platforms. You may also visit thegoldenboot.com for the latest merch. If you would like to make a financial donation, you can do so through Cash App at @GoldenBoot or through PayPal at paypal.me/goldenboot. We look forward to bringing you more laughs, knowledge, and entertainment. And again, thank you for your endless support. Sincerely and respectfully, the Golden Boot team.
The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back to another episode of HBCUI. It's your boy Pooh Bell. Got Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. What's good with you, my boy?
What's happening with you, man?
It's another day, another penny. But we here. We making things work. Making things work because I'm tired of working. But I ain't gonna say that too much because tongue is powerful. I've been said that and don't have a job. So we're not going
to. That is true. Be careful what you wish for, huh?
Yeah. So another day, another winning lottery ticket.
Just wasn't yours, huh?
I hope next one gonna be mine for the meal, mega meal. You ever thought about what you'll do if you hit the lottery?
Yep, disappear. So
I was like, man, if I ever hit the lottery, say if I hit for like $5 million, I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? After taxes, get about 2.5. It's like, yeah, split that with, you know what I'm saying, with my wife, pay my student loans, and then and the rest of them $5, I go get gas. Nah, man, I'm just talking. But what's good, everybody? Josh in the building. What's good, Josh? Hey, you know what? I don't know who this person is, but we have a person on Twitter named Aaron. No matter what we post, no matter what we do, we post it, he reshare it, he like it, man. Right. And you know what I'm saying? Hey, Aaron, I appreciate you. Like for real. Like anytime we post something, you sharing this stuff and support is free. And we truly do appreciate you supporting Google. But yeah, man, we can go ahead and get started though, man. Let's start with football. It's been some quite cute. I ain't gonna say some. I don't know. I can't categorize it as shakeups, but it's been some moves made that's gonna make this season very interesting.
Yeah, I get it.
One of my favorite moves that has happened. Former Bethune-Cookman head coach Terry Sims joins Alabama State staff. His role has not. I hadn't seen where they've announced "quote unquote" his role, but if he involved in that offense,
yeah,
Alabama State might have something to say out that East.
If they can figure out their quarterback situation,
I don't think it's that they got to figure it out. If they can figure out their quarterback health.
Well, yeah.
Because when Davis played, he was good, but the problem was he got hurt.
That's true. That is true.
And then they had to bring in and Crawley didn't do a bad job, but
that's a very valid point.
Yeah, Crawley ain't do a bad job, but Crawley was behind the 8 ball a lot of times. So, but he's moved on. I forgot where he went. Where did he go? Was it Southern? I can't remember.
I don't remember where he went.
He went to another SWAC school though. So, but yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Dave in the building said, "Whoa, yeah, Dave, that was one of many shoes to drop." Fam, you got a twofer.
Yeah.
They hired Chad Ochocinco as an ambassador to the football program. He really wants to get into coaching, and
like
I think
a
he's
brand ambassador type deal, ain't it?
Yeah, he really wants to get into coaching, and he has really expressed his love for FAMU. I think his daughter goes to Prairie View, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, I believe so.
So that's interesting in itself. And we'll come back to that, circle back to that. And Antonio Carter, former Alabama Crimson Tide wide receiver. He's been a wide receiver coach at Stillman.
Coached at Miles.
And
coached at a few other schools.
He is now the passing game coordinator for FAMU. So that's also
good hires.
Good hire. Look forward to seeing how that plays out. If he's gonna be there, if he can help sharpen that iron for Musa.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But back to this Ochocinco. Somebody made the comment or made a Twitter comment. Man, they ain't learned about bringing in these former NFL players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a little different considering he won't be running the program.
A lot different.
Yeah. For one. For two, he's kind of shown an appreciation and an understanding of HBCU culture over the past couple of years. So it's why I'm not going to say he's from it, you know what I mean? But I feel like he's coming into it with a better understanding than some of the other former NFL stars.
Yeah, I completely agree. I do think that he is. I think he's doing it the right way. He's not coming in and say, "Make me the head man." He's more or less, you know what I'm saying. Hey, he's a brand ambassador now. Who's to say he won't, work his way up to be a wide receiver coach or?
Yeah, I was about to say he's doing what. My bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was about to say he's doing what a lot of people said that these NFL coaches wouldn't do, which is kind of work their way through the ranks at HBCU. So, I mean, like to your point, doing it the right way also kind of shows that how it's different than some of these other situations we've had with NFL stars coming back to HBCUs.
Yeah. I do want to point out when I say doing the right way, I'm not saying that a NFL player can't come in and be a head coach right away. But if you don't have coaching experience, albeit high school, work your way up and possibly be a assistant coach in college and then work your way up that way. A lot of times just jumping into it, you may be a little bit overwhelmed. I gave Hugh Jackson his credit last week before when I talked about, him having to adjust, and he was a head coach in the NFL. It's just a different, being at a HBCU and having to work around the challenges that may face you there, to also having to coach college kids because it's different. So
yeah, and to me, when I say the right way, to me it's not saying anybody else did it, quote unquote, the wrong way. Right. I would just say this is the way that I think is the most respectful to the HBCU culture and the most kind of, welcome, the way to get the best welcome from the HBCU culture. You know what I mean? You don't come in trying to act like you run the place or anything like that. You come in and say, hey, I just want to be a part of this. Tell me what what I can do, and I'll be willing to do that. You don't come in making demands and all that kind of stuff. So
right.
I'm interested to see how it plays out though. But so far I kind of like the way it's starting off.
Excuse me, I had to sneeze. I was trying to fight it off.
Bless you.
See if it was gonna come out of it, but Southern is a no. Coach Dooley. Hired some former SWAC stars, Chad Williams and Willie Toten.
Yeah, Chad going back home, BR kid going back to, you played at Grambling, but had a little stint in the NFL. But he going back home to Baton Rouge. He's gonna I believe he's gonna be the wide receivers coach. But Willie Totten, that's the one there, man.
I said Toten, like Toten that right, but Titan, Willie Titan.
Former Mississippi Valley quarterback who played with one Jerry Rice at Mississippi Valley. He was he coming in also a part of the staff. He was a former All-American at Mississippi Valley. So you're getting some knowledge, you're getting some experience as far as coaching experience, but you're also getting some guys who know what it's like to play at the highest level in the SWAC. So kind of interesting to see how that's gonna play in. They lost Doug Williams' son, if I'm not mistaken, Coach Williams off the staff, and he went to Benedict, I believe, as the offensive coordinator from there. So we kind of see how what Dooley does in replacing some of this, his staff. So to me, I kind of like the hires, at least in name. So we'll see how it works out and fit and everything. But I'm kind of surprised he was able to get a couple of these.
Yeah, I'm looking, like I said, when I first said these hires, it's gonna be big. I am looking forward to this upcoming season. I know not one person makes a team, but adding Terry Sims, someone who can, depending on what his role is, even if he's there as an analyst or something, the eyes he has for some of the stuff he's seen. One of the Alabama State's biggest competition in the East is predicted to be FAMU, who has seen FAMU more. So, you know.
Very valid point.
So, this one was kind of funny. South Carolina State AD, Miss Keisha Campbell. She was doing an interview. I believe it was with HBCU Game Day. I could be wrong. But she was talking about how it is trying to plan for a football season in the MEAC because, one, they're limited because they've only got 5 other opponents. So you're only pretty much going to get 2 or 3 home games there. Then you have to schedule other people, and other people are not necessarily going to come, just going to give up one of their home games to come to you. And she talked about that, and she said it would be nice if some of these what she said was Aggies and Pirates come back to the MEAC. That's something
really?
that's been expressed a lot.
Oh, really? Did she say that there? Yeah. It's been a big topic of conversation. I'll just put it that way on Twitter these past few days. Spirited debate, maybe. Yeah, however you want to word it. But
shout out to HBCU Nightly with
for some reason, Josh always in the mix with something. Whether he just asking a question or he going back and forth or it just happened in his space. Josh always in the mix with these HBCU debates on Twitter. So shout out to our guy.
I ain't gonna say it.
I ain't gonna say it neither.
Josh messy. I'm saying it. Josh is messy. No,
no, I wasn't gonna say that. All I'm gonna say is, Josh always. You don't find that suspicious. You don't. But I will say that I do understand the sentiments of those who feel like Hampton and A&T are, I'm not gonna say right, but have the right, to make the move that they made and, do what's best for their institutions. And I feel like we can't always measure whether or not you made the right move based off wins and losses and things of that nature. Although we all want to be competitive, but I don't feel like that's the end all be all as far as whether or not you made the right move for your institution. Because Hampton hasn't been very successful. We can all agree to that. But
I think you have to separate those two. I think though. So while I understand,
I agree
what she said. A&T, I think A&T although they're having their challenges too, I think A&T might, they might find their footing and be all right. Hampton, I think Hampton needs to come back ASAP and bring somebody with you.
I'll say this. Of the two, I feel like it would benefit Hampton more to go back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say they should, but I think it would
that's fair.
benefit them more to go back. I don't know obviously it's financial, their reasons for leaving. So if they're content with their financial situation in the CAA, then who am I to tell them to leave? You know what I mean? Like,
that's fair.
So competitive balance wise, I think they should definitely come back to the MEAC if they feel like they want to be contenders in their conference. But I can't just tell them to come back because I don't know if that's what's best for them. I understand her wanting to kind of bring them back to help strengthen the conference and help get more teams in the conference and stuff like that. But bruh.
Oh man.
But
she
you feel me, bro? She's acting like she being quiet over there doing it too. But I understand her point of wanting to bring those two teams back to try to help strengthen the conference and and grow in numbers. But I don't know if that's what's best for those two schools.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting how that moves forward. But I wish the best for Hampton. We want to see all all HBCUs win, of course. So we definitely hope that they can get whatever they need to, get however they need to get it. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's been rough though. It's been rough for sure.
Very rough. Very rough. Hold on, my bad, man. I was trying to check on something real quick. All right. In basketball, there have been 6 HBCU head coaches who have been named finalists for the Ben Job. Is that right? Did I say that? Job, or is it? Because I got messed up one time with the J's, and I told somebody, I said, I got some jojoba oil, and they said jojoba. I was like, I didn't know it was Mexican. I didn't know. Ja. Y'all will get that later. Y'all will get that joke later. But basically this award is named after Mr. Ben Job, who's best known for his stint with Southern. But it goes out every year to the top minority head coach in Division I basketball. But this year, the 6 finalists that are HBCU coaches are Landon Bussey at Alcorn State, Kenneth Blakeney from Howard, Jason Crafton from Maryland Eastern Shore, Dante Jackson from Grambling, Robert Jones from Norfolk State, and Lavelle Moulton for North Carolina Central University.
You said it right the first time though. It's Blakeney, but
is it Blakeney? Why does it say? Well, no, it's got some extra letter. I hate the English language,
but yeah, it's all good. But kudos to all them man. They think you can make the case for any one of them, and it's pretty well deserving. But you already know who I'm going with. I'm just saying. You already know who I'm going with.
Yeah. I ain't seen him on here. Southern coach. That's right, wasn't it? No, not him. My bad. I ain't see his name on there. My bad.
Because he wasn't on the list.
Yeah, I know what list I know the list your coach is on though. First of all, let me say this. SWAC. Y'all was getting on the MEAC for having co-football champions. Now y'all said, well, hold my bill. We finna have co-champions and co-coaches of the year. Co-co. co-coaches of the year. So this is funny. It was already Alcorn and Grambling. Alcorn State and Grambling State were co-champions of the regular season. Well, the head coaches were co-coaches of the year for the SWAC, which is very interesting in itself. Well, you know what's funny? The SEC actually had co-coaches of the year too. So I guess nobody can make up their mind this year.
Politically correct.
Yeah. Other players named to different SWAC honors on the men's side. You had Cameron Kristen, Player of the Year for Grambling State.
For who?
Grambling State University.
For who? I can't. My bad. These AirPods kind of.
Well, clean your ears. All right. Defensive Player of the Year.
Who he played for though?
You heard I said. Defensive Player of the Year, Olisa Blaze Okanobi from Alabama A&M. You say that 3 times.
Great job. Great job.
Newcomer of the Year, Antonio Madlock from Alabama State. And Freshman of the Year was Zion Harmon for Bethune-Cookman.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
I don't know if I guess I'll do SWAC first team and second team. First team Christian Cameron Christian from Grambling, Sean Dawes Jr. for UAPB, Dominique Bruton for Alcorn, Will Douglas from Prairie View, Terry Collins from Mississippi Valley State. That's your first team. Second team, Shondarius Coward from Grambling, Jordan Carl Nicholas from Texas Southern, Zion Harmon for Bethune, Jeremiah Kendall from Alcorn State, and Brian Whitley. I'm gonna say B Whitley from Southern. I just don't. I hate messing with people's name, man. I know how it be. On the women's side, it wasn't no co in this. Coach Tamika Reed. They need to change the name of this award to the Tamika Reed Award and give it out annually on men and women's side. I don't care what nobody say. She bad. She bad too. Player of the year was Ayanna Emanuel from Alabama State. Defensive player of the year was Angel Jackson from Jackson State. Newcomer was Chanel Wilson for Bethune-Cookman. And freshman of the year was Mika Gray from Texas Southern. The SWAC first team is Ayanna Emanuel from Alabama State. Tylon Bowler from Jackson State. Diana Rosenthal. I'm sorry, I'm all out the way. Rosenthal from Prairie View. Chanel Wilson from Bethune. Jayla Crawford from Alabama State. On the second team, Jariah Covington from Jackson State. Amani Free from A&M, Alabama A&M. Destiny Brown from Alcorn State. Mika Gray from Texas Southern. And Dylan Horton from FAMU.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, man, I ain't doing all that. Y'all tripping. MEAC. They got a first team, second team, third team, all rookie, all defensive. I ain't finna do it. But I will tell y'all this. The coach of the year on the women's side, Coach Larry Vickers from Norfolk State. Player of the year was Destiny Howell from Howard. Rookie of the year was Journey Kiaku from North Carolina Central. Defensive player of the year was Camille Downs from Norfolk State. Kudos to them. On the men's side, coach of the year was Kenneth Blakeney. Yeah, okay, I see why I'm tripping. I knew I wasn't tripping. It's Blakeney. On the other one, it said Black Ani. They had a C in there. That's why I was like, they don't make. Okay, coach of the year, Kenneth.
They had it spelled how?
Black E N.
Don't find that suspicious.
Yes,
you don't.
Black Ani. Yeah, they trying to. I can read out loud. Anyway, coach of the year for the MEAC, Kenneth Blakeney. God damn. Kenneth Blakeney from Howard. Defensive player of the year was Brendan Medley Bacon from North Carolina Central. Rookie of the year was Shy Odom from Howard. Player of the year was Joe Bryant from Norfolk State.
Yeah.
That boy, Joe Bryant Jr., my bad.
So
That boy,
Joe.
bad.
Old man game Joe. That man got and Shy Odom here. That's the Sierra Kane kid.
Okay.
From out there Brian and them played.
Yeah. So, man, let's talk about some of these games, man. I guess we start with yesterday.
Don't never bet against Johnny Jones in the tournament.
Listen, we talked about it with Herb. We said that Dave said that Blakeney whooping man, man. They must say you was about to say Diana Ross. I don't know what I was about to say.
You did. You said Diana Ross.
Rosenthal. I was gonna say Rosswell. I don't know what. It wasn't no W nowhere in her name. No W's. And I was finna call her Rosenwell. Anyway, but yeah, Johnny Jones, man. We talked about it with her. G, even on his shows, when he did the preview, he said that this is not a pair he liked. But he felt like these was probably the two best teams. I mean, he was a little biased. Of course, he said these was two best teams in the tournament, and he felt like whoever won was gonna win it all.
Grambling was playing last night in that game.
Listen, that between you and him. I'm just reiterating. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm reiterating what was said.
I'm just saying one team still in the tournament. One team. Never mind. But
I mean, Texas Southern's still in there. But anyway, Chuck says
I was talking about Grambling.
Yeah, G did his Facebook Live last night, not to try to take away his pain. Well, I mean, did his live last night to try to take away his pain after all-core men basketball team lost.
Yep, I saw it. I felt bad for my guy. I felt bad for him because Grambling was supposed to be the ones to beat him, but oh well.
Yeah. I'm looking at this halftime score. We're gonna get to the MEAC side, but Norfolk is they tripping. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Yeah,
they better wake
man.
up. They better wake up. They had to come back, but they still losing by one, almost going, but right before half. And this got the slowest clock I've ever seen.
Since we was talking about yesterday, there was another game yesterday in the SWAC. The number 2 seed in the tournament, the Grambling State Tigers, took on Bethune-Cookman. And it went pretty much like you expected it would go. Grambling pretty much controlled the game and won pretty convincingly, 87-72. And they will be moving on.
Does Reggie Theus have a talk with himself that he needs to improve, or he going to be let go?
Does Reggie Theus tell Reggie Theus that with all the turmoil that you went through this season, being top half of the SWAC, you deserve another year, at least,
and a pay raise? He gonna pay it anyway. Yeah,
but so now Grambling goes. Tomorrow they face a kind of hot, kind of lucky Jackson State team.
Jackson State got the win today in overtime over Prairie View. Sorry, Miss Jess. I know she was pulling for that. She was all on Twitter, yelling at the screen, excited for it.
Yeah, they
and it looked good. It looked good for her early. Not so much late.
Big comeback in the second half by Jackson State, and they was able to pull out a close one. Kind of hoping that it took a little bit out of them for Grambling's sake, and then that overtime game and having to play Grambling defense back to back less than 24 hours. I'm kind of hoping that bodes well in Grambling's favor, but Jackson State kind of hot right now. Honestly, that's not really the team you want to see in this type of format. But we'll see. Should be a good one. Southern and Alabama A&M should be tipping off here shortly. So we'll see who Texas Southern ends up having to face tomorrow. But I think if you Texas Southern, you already took down the hard part on your side of the bracket. You just kind of looking at the next two to try to get to the championship game. But hey, like we said Monday, man, we heard Texas
Anybody.
Southern is they got the pedigree for this, man.
Yeah.
They do this all the time. So it's SWAC finna be interesting, man. We said anybody could beat anybody, and we kind of been seeing that.
Nobody safe.
Yeah.
Nobody. Women's side. Yesterday, we
That's
saw
a little different.
UAPB upset Alabama A&M. Big upset.
Yep. Then today we seen and obviously yesterday, Jackson State women took care of Grambling. No surprise there. But today, couple of well, you got a 27-point win by Southern over Prairie View, and then Alabama State pulled off a pretty close one against Bethune. So it's still been kind of Jackson State over everybody, and then everybody else kind of nitpicking. But this Southern Prairie View game was kind of a shocker to me.
Yeah.
It's being that lopsided. But it was a game like that in the MEAC on the women's side too.
Yeah. Let's stick, like you said, let's stick on the women's side. Maryland Eastern Shore took down Morgan State. Morgan State was the front runner for most of the season. Until they ran into a red hot Norfolk State that took them down, and basically gave everybody gave everybody the recipe, the blueprint, and Morgan State hadn't recovered since. But yeah, Morgan State went down to Maryland Eastern Shore.
Close game though, but they were, like you said, they never recovered from that loss, man. I think they took them out psychologically. I think it was all mental after that.
North Carolina Central, that's another one. North Carolina Central advanced as well. I gotta pull up. I ain't even looking at
Norfolk State beat South Carolina State yesterday also. I think it was 60 something to 30 something like that. 60 to 35, 61 to 35, something like that. But so we just talked about them. They the best team in the MEAC, Norfolk State women. And I guess you could kind of say the Jackson State of the MEAC. Not as big of a gap between them and other teams, but they're pretty convincingly the best team in the MEAC on the women's side.
Yeah. And then Howard took out Delaware State 67-35.
Yeah, that was today, right?
That was today, correct.
Yeah, that was the blowout on the MEAC side today. We mentioned, Southern over Prairie View on the women's side and the SWAC being a blowout. Then this was the MEAC's version of a blowout. So kind of competitive. It's like both conferences. One game was competitive, one game was a blowout on the women's side on each day. So hopefully once we get semifinals and finals, we'll start seeing more competitive games. But I think we both know who's gonna win those two tournaments on the women's side.
Yeah. Now on the MEAC men's side, the regular season champs look like the regular season champs, look like they want to be tourney champs too. Took out South Carolina State 91-55. Didn't leave a doubt. North Carolina Central say they still got something to prove. They came in and beat Delaware State 89-59. And then today, Maryland Eastern Shore trying to get back to their winning ways. They beat Morgan State 80-64. And at halftime, you got Norfolk State down 1 to Coppin State 24.
That kind of shocked me. I lost a little bit of money on that that Morgan State game earlier. I did not see them getting beat by 15, 16 points. I thought they would keep that game under 7, 8 points. That kind of surprised me. But I think this Coppin State Norfolk game might be more of a surprise, honestly. I don't know.
I don't care what the score is. Norfolk State, you need to win this.
Oh, I had the under, so I would have hit if it wasn't for Morgan State deciding to get beat by 16. But I kind of think that Howard is still looking like the best team. Well, Central looked great yesterday. Honestly, That's the team that Josh was on our show talking about. That version that we saw yesterday. If they play like that for 4 days, ain't nobody finna beat them. But I honestly, I think it's anybody's game. Like we've been saying it all year. I mean, I know how it won the regular season, but some people thought that Norfolk or that Central was the better team. So at this point, coin toss, who gonna win it? I mean, it all comes down to matchups, and I know tomorrow we got Maryland Eastern Shore and Howard, and that game is going to be much CTV. That is going to be a great game.
Yeah. All right. NAIA. 2 HBCUs have advanced. Langston, who we talked about, won their first regular season championship this year under first-year head coach. Langston moves on to the Sweet 16. Tougaloo, who we hadn't talked about enough on here, but Tougaloo continues to be dominant, continues to work hard. Tougaloo is also moving on to the Sweet 16
on the first-year head coach.
Under first-year head coach in the NAIA. I do want to say, unfortunately, Xavier, Louisiana is out. So they got put out.
Good season, fellas. Good season, but nothing to hang your head on. Nothing to hang your head on, man. I'm hoping Tougaloo and able to keep this coach though, man. That's but we're doing what he's doing first year. That's what gets you on radars real quick, man. You know, from bigger schools. So hopefully they can hold on to him because it looked like he's gonna be something special down there. You muted, bro.
I don't know what happened. I was just talking. I was looking at this schedule to look to see who Langston played Southern Oregon and beat them 81-64. Then they played Southwestern out of Kansas and beat them 87-65. Now I'm trying to scroll because they don't have, for some reason, the NAIA, and I'm not going to take anything away. They don't have the brackets. Just they have it like who all played who. So I'm trying to see where Tougaloo at. Tougaloo, where you at? Tougaloo, where you at? So I can see who you played and who you beat. And here we go. Tougaloo. Tougaloo beat Texas A&M Texarkana 75-65, and then they beat SAGU out of Texas 75-62.
Never heard of that before, but yeah, congratulations, man. I hope they keep it rolling.
Yeah,
I don't know what their bracket's like, but I would love to see them two meet in the finals if possible.
Xavier lost. They lost to College of Idaho, 76-61 in the regional. Well, not regional, but in their
yeah, I know what you mean. The second round.
Yeah, in the second round. Trying to see, man. We got a little bit more before we get up out of here. Alabama State, man. And I've been seeing a lot. It's funny because I actually saw Dr. Cavill and somebody else was talking. I want to say it was Gerald. They were talking about esports. Alabama State opens their new gaming and esports lab. So Alabama State continue to grow. Shannon Sharp.
Chill out, bro.
I'm for real. Uncle Shay know he be wrong, man. He was talking about, you know what I'm saying, about the facilities and stuff and agreeing with I'm gonna call that man Voldemort because we ain't gonna say his name. But he was on there with Voldemort with I was finna call that man Danny Eight Toes. But he was on there with him, and they was talking, and you know, he talked about the facilities. Alabama State, like I said, they opened a new gaming and esports lab, man. Esports is big, really big. I just saw a kid in in our in my area got a scholarship to Ole Miss on their esports team. So man,
yeah, I know it's a few teams in the there's a few schools in the SWAC that already have the esports program set up or whatever. So I think if it's probably about half the teams or half the school, if not more than half the schools now that got one. So I think there's a big push of trying to become like conference wide and kind of having the SWAC having their own little, esports
I gotta
conference
find out more
type,
about that.
conference
But
wide.
think about that, man. Like back when we was growing up, you know what I'm saying, our parents used to, you know what I'm saying, mom, you know what I'm saying, get off that game.
Get off that game. You can't make no living doing that.
And now they get paid big bucks.
Yeah. But I know like Grambling Southern, Jackson State, pretty sure UAPB and TSU.
I know Prairie View.
I'll have
Prairie View, dude,
Prairie View too. Yeah. So that's like
Alabama
6.
State. At least Alabama State is starting one.
So. Yeah, so that's like 6, and then Alabama State will make 7. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Pretty sure it's like half of them got them. So that's pretty dope though, man. And not only that, it opens up more like scholarship opportunities, and gives more people a chance to get a college education. So I'm all for that, bro.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Seeing them do things. I'm still encouraged young Ichiro to get out there and do his thing. But if you want to play the game, go ahead. I'll play it with you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get your scholarship one way or the other. So another big news, man. North Carolina Central knocks off North Carolina State in softball.
Big time.
So congrats to
big
that.
Time.
Appreciate that. That breaking news came from HBCU Nightly. If you ever get a chance, I promise y'all jump in and listen. But,
I thought my boy Josh had won the lottery for a second.
Yeah, speaking of lottery, yeah, he definitely, stopped the show, let everybody know about that. But that was big, man. Kudos to them.
Great, yeah. I wonder how soon till they stop scheduling North Carolina Central.
Yeah, because a lot of teams, saying they don't play certain teams no more when you get scared. We had that conversation one day how a certain dynasty refused to play Boise State back in the day. Got scared. Sips tea.
Well, that's just some water, but yeah,
But he to go. Anyway, man, what else we got, man? You got anything else before we get up out of here? Anything we miss?
Now I'm just gonna tell people, make sure y'all check out some HBCU basketball this weekend. A lot of great conference tournaments going on, men's, women's, whichever you prefer. If you can make it in person, that's fine. If not, check it out, whether it's on ESPN, HBCU Go, whatever platform you can find it on. Just support these institutions this weekend. And if you're not a basketball fan, there's plenty of HBCU baseball, softball that you can check out instead, So go out and support HBCU this weekend, man. You ain't got nothing better to do.
Yeah, I completely agree. Go out and buy you a shirt from a school. Go, tour a campus. Go talk to somebody about some HBCU. Let's spread this word. Let's, uplift our people and continue to do great things. I don't know, man. I ain't got much else.
It's about time for track season too. So
outdoor track, yes. Listen. Also, spring football is kicking off. Not Alabama State. I'm sorry. Southern announced April 1st they were having their spring game. Yeah, April 1st. I saw that. Schedules are also coming out, releasing
some interesting stuff coming out.
We're definitely going to touch on some of those. I know we did, talked about some schedules before, but we definitely finna, run it back, talk a little bit more. We also gonna have to come back and do a draft special. Talk about some of the like we did with Huggins, with Jared. Try to get, somebody, because Jared will be back, but we're gonna try to get somebody else on
We'll see.
Get our guys. See if we can get them on.
Possibly a big name guy in the draft world. But Graham, I just looked. Graham's spring game will be April 22nd, which just so happens to be the same day as the Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis fight. So you can go watch the football, and then you come home and you can watch a nice fight. Hopefully, nice fight.
That's
Sounds like a great day to me. So.
I like it. All right, man. Well, if we ain't got nothing else, man, we can get up out of here. We'll be back on Monday, dropping some more jewels for you. Like that. Hold on. Somebody say something. Who's saying something? Exactly 6 weeks. There you go. All right. And like that, we out.